Okay, I am pissed the hell off. So let's. I'm gonna tell y'all a story. Ooh, that's quite a minging color. I uh I've lived in my city for quite a substantial amount of time, and occasionally one of the small joys that I get out of being in the projects is feeding the wildlife. The specifically the wildlife that doesn't speak English for the most part. And so here I am. I'm deciding I'm gonna do something nice for myself. I'm gonna go to the fucking one of the grocery stores, like the bargain stores. I'm gonna get myself a nice little plastic snack dish and some seeds. And did that show anything weird? It did not. So ew. Here is me. We're gonna need to get like a sizable thing. So I'm chilling here. Yeah, you got like the shitty grated um seating, and then there's like a second bar. So wait, what angle should I do this from? Let's do it like this, right? So we're doing like this, like a mysterious third wave angle. So we have this. Now my very beautiful self is here. My hair is all done up, and I've got like my little bag here, right? My little grocery bag that I've got my groceries in, and some other stuff, and like some water and shit, right? And then on the other side here, I have my little seeds and stuff. And then I have, for some reason, I decided to get like a little plate here today, right? It's got like a little snack bowl. It's got 4 bits in it. And I felt one of them war, right? And I'm like, oh, because I saw the pigeons were like eating. They were drinking out of the cracks between the pavements. I'm like, oh, they must be thirsty, right? This is a very shitty crow, but just pretend it's a pigeon. And yeah, so they're like, they're doing this, right? Do you appreciate how intensely I'm describing this because I'm trying to get to the point that I'm pissed off about? There's like the little crack in the pavement. They're like go splooting and doing their thing. And this guy who looks like he hasn't fucking left the house probably in over a month except to get his groceries with his cheap, shitty fucking lounging pants. Let me get like accurate here, right? Right, so he comes over like this. Well, I want to keep it like vaguely inaccurate. So he's like this, right? And the man's built like a rail. And the only thing that he's got on him is like a single pint of milk. Should I let me do this even smaller actually? Like baby with a uh losing the thread here a little bit. Can I just like do this from scratch? Yeah, okay. So anyway, I've got the little palette is set up over here. I've got Mr. Man over here causing a scene and an issue because there's a sign nearby that says "Don't feed the pigeons." Now, for anyone that doesn't know, Glasgow has had a rat problem for about a while. Presumably, it's been worse in other areas that haven't been where I've stayed because it's only been an issue where I stay for like the last 5 years or so, right? And that is because for quite a while the council decided to just not pay enough for the bin man to like pick up we didn't have enough bins. They got rid of half of the bins for all of the flat houses, and then they didn't pick them up often enough. So people were just strewing shit out of the back of the buildings. Because if you live in like a tenement, they put stuff out in the back. So you got the building here. Here's the front. Here's the street, and then in the background, between the buildings, there's like a back area that has like cement and maybe some trees if you're lucky. So one of my neighbors went and put out like fucking 15 bins all at once because he lives on the top floor. He kind of got out, and after that, because it got left sitting there for 4 fucking months, the whole building back and front, ended up getting infested with mice and rats. They're crawling through the sewer grates, they're crawling through the underbay area. There's like 100-year-old insulation. Half of the buildings have had asbestos removed, so it's supposedly safe, but you know. um, so anyway, so I know that. I know cause and effect. I know that what's causing this. It's the rubbish, right? Me feeding the birds is not going to have any tangible effect on the rat population. Me doing this, because if you think about it for more than 2 seconds, you can tell that I was practicing this argument in my head after he fucked off. Um, so he's like, "Gonna know feed the birds, man, because I live here and here's that." And the next sentence, like, "I also live here." And then he grabbed it. I grabbed it back. He fucking threw it at me. So all the seeds, all the water, it goes down into my lap. I'm sitting there filthy now. And then he's getting at this and that, and then he's like trying to make up an argument in his head because he obviously hasn't thought about this for more than 2 seconds, right? Because if you actually think, if I put food out and the pigeons eat it, where's the rat coming in, right? This wee chunky lad, what is it that they're actually eating? If you think about this for 2 seconds, if you put out food that the pigeons don't eat and it continues to stay there, and you do this late at night, and then the pigeons go home, there's food left on the ground. The rats will eat that, yes. But if you feed seeds that the pigeons eat completely and don't leave any scraps for, what the fuck are the rats going to eat? The rats aren't going to be eating thin air. That's not, we haven't figured out filter feeding for like an aerial composition right yet. That's the domain coral in the water, because everything's sperming, and you know every fucking inch of water is filled with like protein. Or what the fuck am I talking about? But you get the point that I'm trying to make here, right? Me throwing seeds and having the birds eat out of my hand. We need to take a basic level in thermodynamics here, right? Because if the seeds go into the pigeon's body and then the pigeon shits on the floor, the rats aren't eating the shit unless they're starving to death. And if they're at that point, they're going to move elsewhere. The reason that the rats are in the building is because the council didn't take out the fucking bins for 2.5 years and just left us all sitting in our own squalor with methane and all the rest of it just rising up every time you open your window, right? I had to deal with that for quite a while. Here comes in Long Leg McGee. The man looks like he hasn't left the house in more than a month to go grocery shopping, which, real, to be honest, I see you. I still have empathy for my enemies type of thing. But also very clearly just does not know shit from his boogers. 'Cause if you think about this for more than 2 seconds, you will get cause and effect. You will contemplate. Uh, I've ran out of steam here because I don't know what else to say. I just really wanted to get this off my chest. Yeah. So I like fucking with that. He grabs it, I grab it, and then he throws it at me, and I was like, I fucking can't. You were gonna do that because I could tell from the energy that the man. I saw into the future before the man approached me, and then I vaguely was aware of his presence because I was just thinking, oh, someone's gonna like grab this and like throw it at me. And then lo and behold, someone did exactly that. Strangely enough, the only negative reaction interaction I had that time, two other people were sat on the like um, the chairs seats. I don't know. I think I wanted to call them sofas for some reason. They're just like shitty metal grates that are designed to make you hypothermic before you sit on them. But if you sit on them for longer than like 5 minutes, um, that was the one and only negative interaction that I had, and it was because the man is so fucking stupid that he decided to ruin someone else's day before engaging his higher learning faculties, which clearly hadn't happened in high school. The man was probably in his late 40s complaining about, oh, I live here and all this and that. I'm sorry to tell you, my friend, my enemy, my frenemy, my associate, my peer, me feeding the pigeons seeds that they then consume in their entirety. The The rats are not eating pigeon droppings unless they're absolutely fucking starving. And if that is happening, they will move elsewhere or they'll stay in the sewers. Unfortunately, staying in a city, this is just something that you have to deal with from time to time. I would prefer not to. I haven't to like stuff cotton down all the fucking holes in the radiators. I'm still catching them, but it's just I don't really have anything to do with this. Maybe instead of harassing people on the street and just showing your unwashed ass, you could actually contact the council and ask them to deal with putting in proper insulation or building code standards. Yeah. They keep increasing the urban density around here, and as a result, the rodent population has also gone up because they've got more places to stay now, and they haven't figured out how to just like fucking lock them out from entering on the base floor because they're crawling up through the sewers and then they're doing the rest of the thing. I'm going in circles here because I'm angry. I wanted to feel this. I wanted to express this. I wanted to get it the fuck off my chest because the rest of the time that I was sat there trying to chill out, be mindful, be present, and just enjoy nature and the small vestibules of it that we've got left until we end up in the fucking dust bowl that is Wolf's Rain. That's Wolf's Rain. It's an anime. I wouldn't recommend it. It's really, really a long burn. But I watched it once when I was 14, and every attempt since then I've failed because it's so long. But like we're not in a Mad Max universe, right? We're not at we're not at a heat desert yet. The city, life in general. Point that I'm trying to get here without getting catastrophizing is that sometimes it is nice to just sit and appreciate life without all of the noise. And sometimes you want to do that by just can I do this? No, it's the hardness that I'm going to do. Can I actually go with the pencil? Can we reduce this by a bit and then oh god no. Let's do the airbrush. Alright, just sort of erase this man from existence. Probably gonna die of a heart attack in 5 minutes anyway. That was mean, I shouldn't have said that. uh well, I guess like I could just do this, right? And then just do a solid fucking layer. Yeah, that's absolutely fabulous. I have rejected you from my consensual reality. Anyway, so that was my rant of a microaggression that I suffered in the street today, and um, a spate of similar behavior that makes living in an urban environment genuinely miserable. However, the small joys that I take in between all of that in feeding the pigeons and just I guess like yeah, we can read into it. I haven't felt comfortable getting a pet, so this is one of the ways that I can like just interact with animals without having to worry about oh are they going to be okay? Do I need to wash them? This one's going to shit on my carpet type of thing. It's nice to relax every once in a while and smell the roses, feed the birds, just sit at one with the scraps of nature that we have left in the current incarnation of civilized society. So I would ask if you somehow miraculously find yourself being this person and also have an internet connection, if you think for 2 seconds before making your mental illness someone else's problem, is that too harsh? Maybe. If you do just sit and actually think about how things work, thermodynamics over here, you would realize that the person that you're about to harass is not the problem, and you can direct that energy more productively towards the people responsible for this mess in the first place, which is a combination of like we can't really wipe our own arses at this point without someone being able to call you to some authority, and yet at the same time anything that people that do that's genuinely disruptive, the services aren't willing to do anything about. Yeah. contact your local authority, which in this case, I guess, is the council for the city that you live in, and ask them to, just kind of like take the finger out their arse and get things done. Probably word it better than that. You might get better results. And yeah, that's my little rant for today. the Thank you all for attending. I think I have adequately expressed myself. I can move on with the rest of my evening. Be well.